Do you ever have a day be either too rainy or just too hot or too snowy outside and your dog is kind of just ready to go, ready to do something? So today we're going to talk about 4 boredom busters that you can try with your dog if you need something to keep them occupied and to have fun together. Hi folks, I'm Terrie Hayward and I'm a professional dog trainer and behavior consultant. I've helped thousands of pet families just like yours around the world. Thanks for joining us today. For boredom buster number 1, we're going to talk about teaching a new game. The game that we're going to work on today with Henry here, and she's never played this game before, is teaching her to go over and possibly under an object. For our first boredom buster, we're going to teach Henry to go over an object. So we have here a couple of household objects. We have 2 stools and a pool noodle. She's never interacted with this pool noodle before. The way that we're going to begin to teach it is we're going to mark something that we like. I like that she's just lying down there nicely. And I'm going to reinforce where I want her, which is on the other side of this noodle. So let's see if she's willing to go over. On the first try, I'm marking again, and I'm going to reinforce on this side. Hey, buddy. Oh, she's thinking about it. Nice job. If she'd hesitated at all or seemed uncomfortable, I might start by just introducing the pool noodle and marking and reinforcing for on her own. Marking and reinforcing for any interaction. Also, if she was shorter, I would probably start by just placing it on the ground, but she's tall enough that this isn't a scary jump for her. Marking, reinforcing. Eventually, I could add a cue to that behavior so that she could jump over an object on cue. Now we're going to see if she might want to go under something. Now, again, this is a pool noodle. It's soft, so I'm not really concerned about it hurting her, of course, in any way. But if she was afraid of it, again, I would definitely want to try a higher height to begin. We're going to just see where she goes. So I'm marking something I like, and I'm reinforcing where I want her, which is under the noodle. Let's try it one more time. Mark something I like, and I'm going to reinforce her where I want her. Oh, halfway. Ooh, nice. Under the noodle. This actually is good too because it's flexible, so she had a little bit more leeway to kind of play with the game of going under the noodle. And again, if this was scary for her, if it bothered her, I would just make it easier. Always want to just make the situation easier so that the dog is having fun and isn't worried about feeling anxious with regard to your game. Okay, so I marked that she's lying down nicely, and now I'm just going to reinforce her for coming underneath the pool noodle. The next boredom buster game that we're going to play is involving scent work, so we're going to use the dog's nose. At the beginning, when we want to teach the game of scent work, we can put a treat down, and as the dog is going to get the treat, we would say, find it. That way, they'll begin to associate the cue, find it, with I should locate a nice cookie. Some dogs, if you just place the treats around, they're going to find them anyways. And so you can also place them in obvious spots. And as the dog is approaching, say the cue, find it. Again, because eventually you want to be able to hide them in a little bit more tricky locations so that you can say find it and your dog will go and look for them. Find it. I'm going to hide these yummy treats, but to buy myself time to do that, I could leave her with like a licky mat in the other room, or I can just send a treat scatter over here that gives me time to, quote, hide them. That's what I'm going to do. Now, in just a minute, she's going to head out and start looking for those cookies that I put down. And again, as she approaches each cookie, I'm going to say the cue. Hey, buddy. Find it. There you go. To make it a little easier, I'm going to help her find it as she approaches. And we've got one more over by our toy basket. Let's go over here. Find it. There we go. She got all 3. Now, again, you don't want to make them hard at the beginning. You want to make them easy enough. And you can just kind of wander over in the vicinity of them so that your dog sort of moves over there too, so that as they're approaching the cookie, you can say, find it, again, so you can begin to associate the cue with the behavior of locating the snack. The next next boredom buster we're gonna do today is we're gonna work on some skills. And the skill that we're gonna work on is a recall skill. So a recall game is what we're gonna do next. What we're gonna do is I'm gonna mark anything I like, I'm gonna toss a treat away, and then as she turns to come back to me, I'm gonna call her name. That way I'm labeling the behavior as it's happening, so as she's heading back, I'm just calling her name because I know she's coming back to me because I have a bag of cookies. And that way we label it as it's happening, and then we can start to associate the behavior of coming with the cue of her name. Okay, so I'm gonna mark anything I like. It can be an offered behavior, like her just standing there, and I'm gonna toss the cookie away. Go get it. Henry! So as she's coming back to me, I called her name, and then I marked and I reinforced. Let's give that another try. So at the beginning, I'm just marking any behavior I like. I like that she's lying down next to me. Marking, and I'm gonna toss the treat away. Go get it. Then as she turns back, Henry! I call her, and now I'm gonna mark and reinforce right next to me. For our last boredom buster today, we're gonna talk about food puzzles. This is a DIY or do-it-yourself puzzle. So anytime you're using any puzzle, it's always good to have some supervision, but especially if you do a puzzle made out of sort of household items that are not specifically meant for dogs, you for certain wanna make sure that it's only with careful supervision. So in this case, I've got a water bottle, and what I've done is I've cut out some holes. There are 4 of them. And to make it even easier, I can even take the top off. So now we have 5 holes in this bottle. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna load some treats in. Again, if this is a brand new game, at the beginning, you wanna make it really easy. So I would put more treats than I thought she would necessarily wanna get right now, but that's because I want them to fall out easily. So again, to make it easier, you can also place more holes in your DIY puzzle. So I'm gonna toss it on the ground and let her bat it around a little bit and see if some of the treats will fall out for her. Get it? This is really great mental stimulation for their brain. And thinking again about older dogs, this would be a good activity for a senior dog. Again, you just want to make it easy enough that it is fun and not frustrating. So easier would be more holes, for example, in this water bottle. Thanks for joining us today to talk about 4 brain busters that you can try with your dog.